Hi, my name is Huan Li Ching. Welcome to my presentations. Today I'm going to present to you my research proposals for the title of Risk Management for the Construction of Sewerage System Project in Klang Valley, Malaysia. According to Geoffrey, sewerage systems is defined as the sewer networks for the collection of wastewater from its points of origin to the treatment works before we discharge back into the environment. Sewage system is very important to preserve water quality in public water bodies and to improve the living conditions of the community. Generally, there are four main purposes of the sewage project. First is for rehabilitation work, which means to replace the existing old and defective sewers. Secondly, is for upgrading works, means to upsize the existing sewer to accommodate the growing populations of the development itself. Thirdly, for rationalization works, which means to lay new sewer trunk with bigger capacity to combine the flow from various sewage treatment plants into a bigger centralized treatment plant. Or it can be for new developments to lay new sewer networks for catering the incoming sewage flow. There are two main types of methods for the construction. The first method is called open trench, which normally we apply for shallow depth and less disruption area. The second method is, and the most widely used method is the pipe jacking method, where normally apply for deep, busy traffic and utilities congested area. In order to improve the sewage facilities in the country, the government of Malaysia has launched a series of Greater Kuala Lumpur Sewerage Project under National Key Economic Area, where 9 of it is named as the River of Life Project and 12 of it is the project under Sewerage Non-River. Fortunately, there were a lot of construction issues and problems throughout the sewage constructions project implementations. The most serious ones happened in year 2016, where a car crashed into a sewage manhole in PJ KL. Apart from that, there are a lot of sinkholes appear near to the location sites, especially happened in Cheras KL. Besides, there were also a lot of complaints from the public about the crack at their property and then the traffic congestions due to the poor traffic management by the contractor, then the excessive dust emissions and noise pollution. So apart from these problems, there are also a lot of project has been delayed due to the unexpected rock excavations at site. And all this has actually become the contributing factors that trigger the researchers to come up with a research study for the risk management on this sewage construction project in Klang Valley. Most of the previous research is regarding the risk management in Malaysian construction industry, which is too general. So the researcher plan to do for a research study mainly for sewage construction industry in Malaysia. Apart from that, there was also a research study done previously regarding the cost risk in sewage construction project in Holland. But due to the difference in topography and working culture, so this research study will be focusing on the sewage project mainly in Klang Valley, Malaysia. The objective of this research study is to identify the top 10 major risks in the sewage construction industry and then to study the risk impact on the project implementations, and finally to recommend methods to manage and control the risk to ensure the project can be delivered successfully. The research question for this research study would be, How can risk management help to enhance the sewage system construction project performance in terms of time, cost, and quality? The scope of this research will be limited to the NKEA project carried out in Klang Valley and also the construction of sewer pipes and the erection of sewage manhole only. Now let us move on to the literature part. Risk is a possible future event where the occurrence and consequences are uncertain, but it could affect the company's ability to achieve its project objective. Risk management aims to discover and quantify all risks so that further decisions can be taken to tackle the risks. In general, there are four key steps in the risk management process, namely risk identifications, risk analysis and assessment, risk response, and risk monitoring. In the first step, we need to identify the source and potential risk event that in the construction project, and this can be done through information gathering, documentations, and research. Secondly, we need to do risk analysis, or also can name it as risk assessment. The purpose is to analyze the collected data about the potential risk, and we need to prioritize the risk according to the severity of the impact. There are three approaches for this risk analysis, where we can name it as a qualitative risk analysis, semi-quantitative risk analysis, and quantitative risk analysis. The risk has been prioritized, then we need to establish a strategy to mitigate the risk. And this can be done using a few strategies. For example, like risk reduction, risk sharing, transfer, avoidance, or retentions. Finally, we need to do risk monitoring, where the purpose is to supervise the status of the risk and take corrective actions to mitigate the problems. In here, we need to do the risk management iteratively, meaning to say we have to once we discover the new risk, we need to keep track of the identified risk, and then we need to eliminate past risks from the risk assessments and project. This research study will adopt for the combinations of qualitative and quantitative methods. The qualitative methods will be consist of the literature studies, expert interviews, direct field observations, while the quantitative methods will be using the survey questionnaire. The literature studies were conducted to gain more knowledge and understanding about the topic of research, and this will be done through the academic research journals, dissertations, textbooks, articles, and internet. Since the researchers is working in the sewage industry, so she will have the opportunity to have the site visit. She plan to do this direct field observations, and during this visit, she can have the field notes, photograph, demo. The researcher plan to have three different sessions of interview with the expert, which are the project consultant, project manager, and a specialist pipe checking contractor respectively. So the purpose of the interview is to explore the existing construction issue that they are facing now, and then the impact of the risk to their work processes, and the risk management knowledge that they possess, and to get their recommendations how to improve further the current work practices. And before the interview sessions, the researcher will pre-email the questions to the interviewees so that they will get prepared themselves before the interview sessions. And during the interview, the researcher will jot down the important notes by handwriting and video recording. The top 10 risks identified from the expert interview will then be incorporated into a questionnaire. This questionnaire will then be posted to the various members of the sewage construction industry in Klang Valley to get their rating on the risk prioritizations. This questionnaire will be posted to them, to the targeted respondents through email, website, and phone apps. Stratified will be adopted in this research study, where the sample will be given to the subgroups of the populations with the same background. In this case, the respondents will be selected from various disciplines of the construction practitioner to avoid bias and increase the information accuracy. The data collected will then be analyzed using the content analysis method. This method was chosen because it helps to simplify the data, and then it will produce the results that can be measured using quantitative techniques. The data will be analyzed using the SPSS software. In conclusion, this research study will be worth conducting, as the research outcome will help to improve future sewage system project performance through effective risk management. That's all for my presentations today. Thank you.